Hello and welcome to my channel. This is Mor Yuriamour here, and as you may already know, this is a channel where we focus on what's called the LTD. That's the love triangle debate from Final Fantasy VII, answering the question, who's Cloud's best girl, Aerith or Tifa? And I'm very excited. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while. So I do have two guests with me, and today we're just going to talk about the LTD from two perspectives. We're going to have someone who is Cloti, Cloti, however you pronounce it, Cloud slash Tifa, and we're going to have someone who's more Clerith, Cloud slash Aerith. Okay, and we know how this goes. It's a pretty heated debate that's been going on for more than 20 years, and I don't mind that. But I am going to ask that we try to keep things civil, no personal insults, and of course, there will absolutely be spoilers, so be mindful of that. With all that said, why don't we have the two of you introduce yourselves? Why don't you tell us about yourselves as much as you're comfortable with sharing?
Who should go first?
Well, we have here Alfred and Gloria. Gloria, why don't you go first?
Hello, my name is Gloria. I am a 30-something professional with no children, and I've been playing Final Fantasy since 1997.
Okay.
And
okay.
I don't know my universe of Final Fantasy VII like the back of my hand.
Okay. We've been warned. Okay, Alfred, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello. Are we on now?
Yeah, we're definitely on, Alfred. We are live.
Okay. Oh my God. Sorry. I'm very nervous. This is the first time I do anything like this, Sorry, I was too busy looking at my Aerith picture on my computer. Hello, everybody. My name is Aerith Yuan. I'm from Hong Kong, and I play Final Fantasy original game in 1997. I'm now a very old man now. I'm almost 40 years old. So embarrassed to say, so embarrassed. But yeah, I play from when the game first come out on my PC. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hello, Alfred.
Thank you.
I'm in Australia.
Hi, Alfred.
Hello, what is your name again? I forgot already.
Gloria.
I'm so sorry. Gloria.
My name is
Hello.
Gloria.
I hope you're going to be friendly to me, because my past experience with Cloti people, they're very, very mean and very angry people, But I hope we can have a very...
I've never seen that.
Well, I don't know.
I've seen some gaslighting from the other side. Well, a lot of gaslighting.
Oh no, we Clerith are always very friendly, but Cloti are very angry people.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's hope we can have a good discussion about my favorite game, Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, so thank you for those introductions, and Alfred, no problem. No need to be nervous. This is kind of new for me as well. But again, we're going to be nice about this, right? We're going to have a friendly
very nice.
Right? So no worries. Okay, great. So it looks like we have two huge Final Fantasy VII fans. Is that correct? OG. Started back in the 90s when it came out. Now, Alfred, we did hear Gloria say that she knows Final Fantasy VII like the back of her hand. Would you make that same claim?
Of course, I have played Final Fantasy VII. This one and this two. I was there for there was a this number 3, wasn't there? Yeah, I played that one too. Yeah. but I must say, after this one, after Aerith died, I was so sad. So sad. I did not play with my full mind, But I did play. But after Aerith died, I watched my brother play. He played with me too, my little brother.
So you stopped
after
disc 1? Did you? Playing after disc 1?
I play a bit, but then I give to my little brother. I say, Didi means little brother in Chinese, and I say, Didi, I can no longer play. My heart is too broken. So you play, You play the game, and I watch you. And I watch from the back, and I sometimes I ask my DT, has Aerith come back alive again? And he laughed at me. He's such a bastard. He is a Cloti. He loves Tifa, and he say to me, don't worry. When she come back alive, I will tell you. And it's been 24 years, and he never say she come alive again. He is such a dickhead.
No, well, no. You see her in the church for a bit when they go back to Midgar. I don't know whether it's a glitch in the game, but she sort of flashes as Cloud.
Oh, I did not know that. You sure about that? I have to go back and play it again.
Some people think it's a glitch. I'm not sure, but I definitely seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she just sort of flashes like glitchy and then disappears as he goes towards the flower bed.
But does she come back alive again?
No, she's dead. Cloud drowned her in the Forgotten City. There's no coming back.
Oh, you see, that's you're bringing back terrible memories again. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Give me a second. I just have to.
If it's any comfort, Zach's death gives me PTSD too.
Oh my goodness! I have to say about that. In 2005, my brother said to me, he said, "Alfred, there's a new game and Aerith is back," and I was so excited. I went on the internet, I researched everything. New game, Crisis Core, but then I realized, where is Cloud? Cloud is not there.
In it. He's in, like, he's not. He features. He's not the protagonist.
No, but the main character is this person called Zack. Who is Zack? I don't want Zack. I want the Cloud with the beautiful.
Cloud impersonated in.
No, the beautiful the blonde hair. But I don't know. I don't like this Zack character. He got the black spiky hair. What is this? Oh my god! I so ugly like a sea urchin. You know. I don't like it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Okay, so
sorry, I talk too much. I'm just too excited and too nervous as well. Sorry. Continue the question, please.
No. It's fine. It's good. I wanted people who were passionate, and it looks like I found them. And I do just want to clarify that I'm not going to be saying too much here. You know, I have my own feelings on things, but I am the moderator here. So I'm going to try my hardest not really to interject with my own personal. I'm going to be impartial here. Just want to give that disclaimer.
Good to know.
That said, Alfred, just curiosity, if you don't mind sharing, what color is your hair? You mentioned blonde versus black hair. What color is your hair, if I may ask?
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I actually don't have any hair anymore. I'm an old man now, but back when I was young,
You said you're almost 40. You don't have any hair. Did you?
Well, it's that you should not tease people who don't have any.
I'm sorry,
hair,
Alfred.
You know?
You have some hair. I'm sorry. You're not like 100% bald.
My hair
still.
When I do have hair, yes, it was black, but I would like to. I used to dye my hair blonde, the same hair color as Cloud, you know, because I love Cloud too.
Okay. Did you wear blue eye contacts? Out of curiosity?
No, I could not do that because every time I try to put the contact in, it irritates very much. So you know, but I did try. I did do the cosplay. I tried. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. Well, thank you for answering. That gives a little context for those who are curious. Now, speaking of which, we mentioned Crisis Core, so I did want to ask that as well. So you both have played OG.
Yes, I've played Crisis Core a few times. Yes, one of my favorite games.
I never played Crisis Core. I do not like that game. That game is not.
Well, how do you know if you like it if you haven't played it?
I know, not because I don't like the Zack character.
It's just like preconceived prejudice going in because Cloud wasn't the protagonist.
No, it's just that I don't think that Crisis Core is part of the main game. Do you get me?
The prequel, because Zack is preludes is the story behind why Cloud lost his memory and why he was as strong as a soldier but wasn't. It's like just sort of gets sort of skimmed over in the original game, but it's the entire story that fills in all the questions we might have had.
Oh no, that is not how I saw the story when
Right.
I played the original game. No. The story is simply that is Cloud and Aerith relationship which were broken,
Right.
and and that to me is the main story for the entire game. The entire what's the word? The word is compilation. The whole thing is just Cloud
So
and
the one
Aerith.
game is the compilation. Just it would the
Is that
Hello.
what we're saying,
compilation
Alfred? That to
assumes
you
like
the compilation
plural.
is really the original game?
Well, in my view, I do not believe that Crisis Core should be in the compilation of game.
Okay, but
Sorry,
it's
that
made
is
by the
my
same creators, Nomura,
no no
Majima. Okay, by
no
the
no.
same
I see
company.
I see I see quite I see Crisis Core as being outside. What is the
Do you
word
not
that
like it
you the
because Aerith is with Zack in it?
yeah, I do not. I do
Is
not
that right?
think. I
Okay.
do not think that Zack is supposed to be part of the story at all. It's only Cloud and Aerith.
Okay, but Cloud impersonated Zack's actions and took on his mannerisms and fighting style.
Where
And
does it
wore
say
his
that in
uniform and
the
thought it was
ori?
his.
Where does it say that in the original game?
As Cloud says it himself after the live stream sequence. He says,
The live stream secret.
"Yeah, he falls at Midil. Him and Tifa fall into the like, uh, the weapon comes out. I can't think of the name at the moment. But they fall into the live stream. Cloud and Tifa. You know how he was catatonic. He washed up, and he was in the hospital, and
Do
they
you
found
recall
him.
that, Alfred? Do you recall that sequence?
Ruby weapon or something was attacking
Was
or
that
something.
was this before or after Aerith died?
After. Okay, you didn't.
After. Oh, maybe I need to go back and watch on YouTube because
Yeah.
my memory is a bit hazy there. I must admit this.
Well,
After
Cloud.
Aerith, I was in emotional shock and emotional stress, and I may not
Oh,
have remembered
well,
all the little
24 years
details.
is enough. You should be able to go back and watch the rest of Final Fantasy 7. Should be okay
Well,
now.
well, thank you for that tip. I will try my best.
Okay, good.
But Gloria, you were saying that in the live stream sequence, right? That
Yeah.
Cloud and Tifa have a conversation, and does he share something about his identity having to do with Zack?
Yes. Well, Tifa tells him that she knows it wasn't Zack there with Sephiroth. She knows it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
Cloud. She knows that it was Zack and Sephiroth. She had a photo with them, and so she knows, but she didn't want to tell Cloud at first, like when she met him at the station, Sector
Can I
60.
make
She
it?
was acting
Can I say
very
something? Can I
off.
say
So
something
she
about
just
that?
didn't know what was happening. What? Hello?
The whole
Yes.
sorry. The whole problem is that Tifa was not honest with Cloud in the first place. If she told him earlier, all the problem would not have occurred.
Okay, no, she told him earlier it could have made things worse. She knew he was not himself. He was having these strange episodes. He had blanks in his memories. He knew things that he shouldn't have, from Tifa's point of view, because she was at Nibelheim. And he knew things, he didn't know things he should. So, and he was acting very out of character. He wasn't the boy she knew when they grew up. And she kept him close to keep an eye on her. But if she had crushed his psyche earlier, we don't know what could have happened.
Well, is Tifa a psychologist? How is she supposed to make that call for Cloud? I
Well, she's
think
not a psychiatrist, but she's only just like a 20-year-old girl who was going by her instincts, I think.
I think she should have been honest with Cloud from the start. If she be honest with Cloud from the start, then all the problem, all the trouble would not have occurred. That is my view
Well,
on this thing.
if she was honest, he could have just, his mind could have broken apart. When in the Northern Crater, when she lost faith in him, is when Cloud, his persona began to crumble. That's when he fell into the live stream.
That was a good
I don't
opportunity
believe you anymore, Cloud, essentially. I don't believe you anymore. And that was it. I think Tifa was holding him together by this thread. And once she lost faith in him, he crumbled. And she
I
found
still think that
deal, and
Tifa
then
could
they fell
have
in
done
love,
better.
and she pieced back his memories. So he wasn't a soldier, he was an infantry member, and he killed Sephiroth, and then he was stabbed by Sephiroth. We all know that story. And then he was experimented on by Hojo, and he was essentially given the soldier program, which gave him the strength and speed and durability, everything that soldiers have, you know. So, yeah, and he woke up wearing Zach's uniform. So he didn't know how or what because he blanked everything out. And, I mean, all the trauma he went through, as well as Genova messing with his head, he constructed this persona that he was a soldier. And then Genova took Tifa's recollection of him and played on that more.
This is now very confusing. I think I'll have to maybe go back to YouTube and watch the video again.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, or play it because I downloaded it for about $8 on the PlayStation Store. It's pretty cheap.
What are you trying to suggest here?
Play the original game. You can get it on the PlayStation. So I got it when it was pretty cheap. I think it's about $15 now. I'm not sure. Don't quote me. But I got it and it was it wasn't even $10. It was pretty cheap. So I downloaded it. And it still plays pretty good. Like, it's an old game, but it plays really well for modern times. Like, it's not ridiculously outdated that you just couldn't cope with it.
I don't think I have that much time to play an entire game again. I will just look at the YouTube video.
Have you played Remake?
I have played a Remake, but I don't like certain part of Remake. To me, I think they changed too much of the original game. You know?
Oh, okay.
Oh no! There's so many things that add more stuff about Tifa. I do not like that. They change a lot of things. No, I do not like Tifa. I think that is very clear from the start already.
Why don't you like Tifa?
Oh, you know Tifa. She's so boring. You know, she wear the white. Boring. Yeah, she wear the white top and the black skirt. You know, white, black, look like a panda.
Yeah, that's what Cloud wears, black.
Aerith is much better. She wear the pink dress, the pink jacket.
Okay, but you know that she wears pink because Zach told her he wanted her to wear pink.
I have no idea about.
She wore a blue dress in She wears pink because of Zach. She wore a blue dress.
No, they.
Yeah, Zach was the reason why she wore pink. Zach was the reason why she was selling flowers in Sector 8.
Oh my god. The original game come out first. And that was where the original story was. So if she were wearing the pink dress in the original game, then Crisis Core come out in 2005. That does mean that they changed the story. For me, they changed the story.
You know that Nojima said that he didn't just throw Zach in at the last minute. He wasn't just this filler. He was essential to the plot.
Remind me again, who is Nojima?
He's one of...
Is Nojima a character in the Final Fantasy story? I don't remember this Nojima guy.
He's one of the creators, one of the developers. One of them, like Nomura, Nojima, Katase are the three main developers of Final Fantasy VII.
Oh, I see.
I
understand now.
Okay. They stated Zach wasn't just a last-minute character to fill in holes. They'd established him and that he was Aerith's first love. In the actual original Japanese, it was, she stated, like she does in Remake, that he was the first boy she loved. Or guy. Can't remember if it was boy or guy, but
I
became
remember,
some guy that she knew or something in English because English translation got butchered.
I don't remember she said anything about Zack being her first guy. All I remember
She does
is
that in
she
Gone
saying
Gaga,
that
but in the playground she tells Cloud, the original Japanese, she tells Cloud that Zack was the first guy she loved. And she expands on that when they go to Gone Gaga. Oh, hang on. No, she was alive at that point, yeah. She expands on Zack tells his parents how that Aerith was his girlfriend and things like that.
Now I remember. Now she say something like this. She say something like this in the original game. She say that, I was in a relationship, but it was not serious at all, and that he probably a womanizer or something like that, and that she had a lot of other girl. She so.
No, that was never.
Is that the person you? Oh, so this Zack person
that was
is
just rumor.
Oh, really? Oh, that's how convenient.
That was something that was put into
how convenient
this maiden who travels a planet, which that's not canon. That he was a womanizer.
Maiden is one of my favorite book. That is
Okay.
I read that book.
Do you know that Aerith admits she never knew Cloud in Maiden who travels a planet?
Aerith say
she
in the
knew
book.
him, but then she realized she never knew him at all because he was still in his persona Soldier Cloud when she knew him. Before she died,
just because
Cloud, after she died, he fell apart. It was at Medill. They fell in the last room with Tifa, and he got repaired. Like his mind was put together again, and then he was real Cloud, dorky Cloud, awkward Cloud, loves Tifa from the beginning Cloud.
I don't really understand this real Cloud Soldier Cloud business. All I know is it's just the one person, and that one person loved Aerith, and Aerith say he loved. Aerith say she loved Cloud. She hold him dear to her heart, like all us Clerith hold Aerith and Cloud dear to our heart.
Aerith wanted Cloud to be Zack. She wasn't
that
over
is
Zack.
Not true.
You don't look for your ex-boyfriend in another guy if you're over him. You see another guy and goes, oh my God, he reminds me of my ex-boyfriend, I'm going to go over. You're not over the first fella that you're with. So Aerith is and in Remake, she's very still clearly pining for Zack.
That is not true. I don't think you are. We are playing the same game,
I don't think we are either.
Aerith didn't say that she was still thinking about that last previous guy. What he name again? Zack. That's the Zack guy. He never said that she was still thinking about Zack. I think that
she does say it in the original game.
From the start.
In Gone Gaga, she does mention it.
No, she did not say
she's in Gone Gaga. That's before she dies.
She did not say anything like that. Yeah, I think we need to move on from this point. It's not going to be agree here.
Yeah.
Right. I think we can see there's some disagreement here. So I do want to talk a little bit more about. So we have Crisis Core, which I believe, Alfred, you said you did not play.
I don't like Crisis Core. No, I don't.
Okay. What about Dirge of Cerberus? Right, talking about the compilation. Are we familiar with Dirge of Cerberus?
Yeah, it was mediocre, but I played it because it's Final Fantasy VII.
There we go.
Dirge of what? Sorry, can you repeat? Can you repeat that name? Dirge of
Cerberus.
Dirge of Cerberus. Is a Cerberus a part of the human brain? I don't know. I never heard of Dirge of Cerberus. I don't know what this Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay,
I can't even say the name. It is very strange.
I'm gonna take that as a no then. Okay, there wasn't in my opinion, a lot of LTD related material in there, but Remake. So it's okay, I suppose. But Remake, we did say that both of us played that. Is that correct?
Yeah, I platinumed Remake.
Okay. And Alfred, once again, just to confirm. Great. And Alfred, once again, we were able to make our way through the entire game. Is that correct?
Well, I did play all the area quests and
Chapter 9 and 8.
but yeah, and maybe I might get a little bit lazy and maybe watch the rest on YouTube, but yeah, I can still talk about remake if you need to talk about remake.
So the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I know how people out there think. I know they're going to be hypercritical, and I, well, uh, I keep it real. So even though I have um my preferences and
Yeah.
my beliefs, I am not going to be interjecting. So I'm going to have a moment of realness here, Alfred. I'm basically depending on you to present the Clerith side of things, if you know what I mean. And I think in
Oh,
order to be able to really do that, we do need to be able to have some details and have some knowledge. So I'm just going to put it that way. I'm not going to be interjecting. So I want us to be able to see both sides, right? To hear what both sides have to say fully. So
Yeah.
just kind of focusing on the details would be helpful.
Oh no,
Do
that
you
should
agree?
not. There's no
Yes.
should be no problem at all. It's fine. I know in my heart that Clerith is the proper relationship in the Final Fantasy game.
Okay, just
Okay.
setting opinions aside, Crisis Core and Dirge of Cerberus are actual canon games in the compilation. That's been confirmed by Square Enix.
Would you agree
as
with
well
that,
as
Alfred?
Before Crisis, Advent Children remake. They're all part of the compilations. They're all canon to each other. I mean, and there was so much Crisis Core put into remake. You'd have to be an idiot not to see it. If you played Crisis Core and remake, you would see it. It was very obvious. Like they had frame by frame Zack's final stand in the end of remake.
Oh, I watched some YouTube video on Crisis Core playthrough or
It's in
but I did
remake.
not like that game.
Immortalized in remake. So Crisis Core is canon. I mean, you don't have to like it, but it's canon. You don't have to like that game. I didn't particularly like Dirge of Cerberus. I thought it was whatever, but I like Vincent. So if Vincent's in it, I'm going to play it.
Also, you said that you don't like the Dirge. I still cannot
I
say
did
that.
not
that
like
game.
it. I
The
just didn't think
Dirge,
it was great.
or I definitely will not be playing that game.
The story was a bit weird, but it still had elements of the old, like it's continued the deep ground, and that's going to be put into the DLC with Yuffie. Integrate like Whis.
That's
that was from Dirge of Cerberus. So yeah,
that's another whole story right there. I still
yeah.
cannot
No one's played that yet.
PS5. So the new one, the new DLC, I don't think I'll be able to play that one too. I don't have the PS5 yet. Someone told me the other day that I could get it, but I tried my best. I still could not get the PS5.
Well, I hope you can get. I haven't got one either yet. I'm on a waiting list, so fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So good luck to everyone on that.
So more people do not ask me anything about this new DLC. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't think I could contribute anything.
Well, I don't know
that.
anything about it other than what they've released. Nobody knows. Other than
it's not out yet. It's coming out in June, I believe.
But Whis was from Deep Ground in Dirge of Cerberus. So I know that.
Yes, and we mentioned the compilation. So again, just to have some context, Advent Children. Have we watched Advent Children?
Yes.
Advent Children. I have watched Advent Children. That is my favorite movie as well.
Okay. Advent Children complete, for the record. I haven't seen the first one.
I have so much to talk about. I'm so happy you say Advent Children more. Because,
and we will definitely get to that.
Yeah.
Do you consider? Yes. Do you consider Advent Children a part of the
Yeah.
canon, Alfred?
Oh,
Well, it's
oh
been
yes,
named
of
canon,
course.
so it's not
of
whether
course.
I think it is. It is whether I like it or not or whatever. But I don't like
I'll put the
Advent
question
Children,
out there.
but it is canon.
I'm just putting the
It's been
question out there.
confirmed as canon.
There is no more better proof of Clerith than Advent Children, in my
Okay.
view as well. Yeah.
All right.
And
Did
we're
you watch
definitely
all
going
of
to get
Advent
into that.
Children, or did you stop after Aerith? You know.
No,
Aerith
no, I
party?
want. No, no, no. I know where you go with this question. I know where you go with this question. No, I did watch the whole of Advent Children,
So
and
you seen the part where Cloud calls her mother?
call
And
Marva.
she
Who
comes
Marva?
back.
Who is this Marva? Who that Marva? What are you
Cloud
talking
calls
about?
Aerith mother, and she said, "Why is everyone calling me their mother?"
That is just
And
her
Zach
saying
says,
that. I never hear
I
Klaus.
guess they're fond of you."
I never hear Klaus say anything about the mother. All I hear is
Okay,
Eric
you
say,
might want to watch some
but
video, some
Eric.
YouTube video on that
Oh
one.
no no no! I know
He
no. I
definitely
know where
said
you
calls her
try to
mother.
go. I know where you try to go with this one. I have
I'm
watched
just saying
Advent
what
Children.
happened.
I have watched Advent Children. I don't need to go onto YouTube and watch it again.
Okay.
It is
Okay,
very very
moderator,
clear.
just for the record, that's a fact. Cloud calls her mother.
I, I
Anyone their dog
yes.
can look that up
I,
and see.
I, I
Even
I
I
you.
can't confirm that. In
this
fact, that was going to be when we get to the section having specifically to do with Advent children. That's something that I was going to present for discussion. So I will confirm that Cloud does refer to Aerith at some point at mother, and we can as mother, and we can discuss that. We could definitely discuss that
Okay.
later. I wanted to, if you don't mind, get into the heart of the LTD, right? Get into this
Mm-hmm.
LTD, which is the love triangle debate. Now, first of all, just to make sure that we're all on the same page, what do we mean when we say the love triangle debate? What is the debate? Is the question who loves Cloud? Is the question who does Cloud love? Is the question who's canon? What, in your opinion, is the debate about? What is the core question?
Who first? Me first? Alfred first?
Sure, Gloria.
me
Gloria, you can go
first.
first.
Who go first? Who
Gloria,
Me.
if
go?
you'd like, you can go
Yeah.
first.
I mean, the developers stated that Cloud would waver between the two in the early parts of the game. So the first one third, he would waver, but you have to understand that he wasn't himself. So we were given the choice on who to pick between Aerith and Tifa. And I mean, there's no doubt that Aerith had feelings for Cloud, but you realize where they stem from. You understand her a bit more. Tifa is just obvious as the sun that she was in love with Cloud. But the entire, I mean, Cloud's entire arc stems from Tifa. He only left Nibelheim to Midgar to join Soldier for Tifa. He invited her to this popular dating spot in Nibelheim, the water tower, to tell her he was going to be a soldier.
Oh my god!
She
Oh
wore
my
her
god!
pretty green dress. So no girl is going to meet a guy after dark at the date spot of town wearing your pretty green dress unless she isn't him. So we all know Tifa likes him.
This Tifa so
Also, you have to remember. Hang on, Alfred. I'm not finished. Hang on, Alfred. Hang on. I'll give you a sec. Understand, if you play the original game past disc 1, you will know that when you go back to Nibelheim, and if Cloud plays Tifa's piano again to get her final limit break, if you play the main theme, right, Cloud will then recall how he used to hear Tifa playing. Tifa actually says, I know that. I used to play that. And so Cloud was hearing Tifa play the main theme of Final Fantasy VII when he was a little boy in Nibelheim. So the entire theme that starts the game is a song Cloud heard Tifa playing in his childhood in Nibelheim. So Tifa was this larger-than-life presence. There's this lie that Tifa bullied him, but that's been a long debate.
That is not a lie. That is not a lie. That is the truth.
No, that's a lie. It's been confirmed by every Japanese
translator.
No. Even casual fans.
You are wrong.
The game.
You are wrong.
He never
Tifa
bullied her.
is.
I mean,
Oh
if
my god. Tifa
If
is
she
the
did bully him,
biggest bully.
Cloud would be a masochist for wanting to impress the bully. He's
This
not.
is so sad. So sad. Tifa is a big bully. The biggest bully.
Okay, that's a Clerith talking point that's been debunked. I don't know how many times now. So
I
the
tried to hold myself back.
the original Japanese was he felt too shy to approach her and her friends. So he
That's
convinced
because
that they were silly little kids
Tifa
and he
did
was
not allow him in the group. Tifa did not allow him in the group. Poor Cloud. Oh, I feel so sad for Cloud. Little boy, he's down outside the window, look up at the window, and he say, Tifa, please let me into your group. But Tifa say no.
No, that never happened. No. I mean, Cloud liked her. He's not going to like a horrible girl. He shaped his entire life around Tifa. He went to become a soldier for her.
Yeah,
he's not going to do that for a girl that was horrible to him.
No. See, Cloud.
In the first chapter of Remake, it's Cloud that ignores Tifa. She calls out to him, "Are you ignoring me?" And because he's the one that is where and he was above them.
That is where they changed things in Remake. In the original game, there was no such thing as that.
Well, the original game in the Japanese, he wasn't bullied by her. In the English translation, which got it wrong, he was apparently. But I mean, we live in the age of the internet now. Anybody can find out that was wrong.
I follow a story of love on Tumblr, and they never say anything about that. But in any event,
no, they won't. If you're on Clerith Tumblr,
you say.
I mean, but the Ultimanias back up that Tifa was very important to Cloud.
I do not believe in the Ultimania. The
Ultimanias are also confirmed canon to Remake in the original game.
Ultimania is simply just a magazine written by game reviewers.
It's sources that go deeper into the game, and it's been very good for English speakers since the language was so messed up that a lot of things got lost in translation. So it adds more depth to the story and clarifies a lot of things.
Gloria, I study a lot of history, and they always teach us in history. You always go to the primary source. The primary source, and the primary source is a dialogue in the original Final Fantasy game.
No, you don't need to use. I know. She's not.
You don't need to go. You don't need to go to the third-party magazine to go and understand the original story. It just don't make any sense whatsoever.
Even wanted it. It's not that it explains anything. It just goes into depth because it's a game that's 24 years old and only a little bit of dialogue, and that's all we got from these little blocky dialogue polygon people.
But even so, who writes
extra dimension to the story?
Who writes these magazines?
That perhaps
are they the original writer that write this magazine, or a third party? Right? If a third party,
it's not really a third party. It's just an in-depth look. Like every game has.
It is not reliable at all. It is not reliable at all. All we can rely on is the original.
Are confirmed
canon.
If you don't like
the original script of the Final Fantasy game, that is all that matters.
Fair enough, Alfred.
So again, we could see there's a there's definite disagreement there. But speaking of which, Alfred, why don't you give us your take?
Oh, thank you. I've been waiting a long time for this one.
I'm sorry, Alfred.
For this one, thank you.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Now's your moment.
Okay. That's okay. You know, now I've been waiting for so long. I might forget a little bit of what I'm about to say. But anyway, I was thinking this. Back to what? Sorry, can you repeat the question? I forgot already the original question that you were asking.
Yeah, so the idea is, what is the LTD for you? When we say love triangle debate,
LTD, the love triangle. In my view, in my opinion, after playing the Final Fantasy original game, I do not think there is any debate whatsoever. Cloud only loves Aerith. That's all. That is all. I mean, maybe he had a little baby crush on Tifa when he was young. But Tifa such a bully. Oh my god, a big bully. Such a big bully. And then he thought he said, I don't want Tifa anymore. And then he meet Aerith and Aerith love at first sight, love at first sight.
Okay.
Aerith.
Alfred, can I ask a question? Where in the game does Cloud admit to loving Aerith?
There, it is there. I can't tell you straight away where it is, but maybe I can go back to the YouTube and I'll tell you where it is.
I've played it about 5 times, the original game, and I don't ever recall him saying anything to that extent. I know he's upset when she dies. Of course he would be.
But I can say that
2 minutes before that.
I can say the same thing for you, Cloti. He didn't ever say that he loved Tifa. Never. Never did he say he loved Tifa.
Oh well, no, he doesn't. But Cloud's not. He's not very open like that. But that's where the Ultimanias explain that he.
Oh, how come
asked her to the water tower to say, "I'm going to join Soldier." That was to impress her.
Cloud never say he
falls
loves
apart
Clerith,
when Tifa loses
and then
faith
you discount Clerith like that. But Cloud
then
never say he
confesses
loves
his feelings
but
to her.
Cloti is now canon. You see that?
Okay.
That's where I'm very upset with Cloti like that. They flip the argument all the time. And I don't like that.
I'm just quoting from like Ultimanias where it says that during the live stream sequence.
Oh, here you go again.
Ultimania magazine.
Oh my god! You see, Ultimania is not
oblivious. It's kind of ridiculous at times, but everybody else around the noob, but them. And then in the live stream, Tifa enters his subconscious, and she realizes his feelings. He actually admits to her during the live stream that he wanted her to notice him.
Maybe that might be the situation where he was a
surprised by it, but she kind of admitted it. But he also says in the game that only Tifa's opinion matters to him, and that he wanted.
So that does not mean love or any. That does not represent any love. I have many friends, and I value their opinion as well. I value their opinion as well. That does not mean that I love my friend in any way. You see, you're
I'm singling out one male. In a group, it's pretty significant. I'm just saying.
Well, Tifa may
even in remake,
no many friends, you see. So all eight Tifa friends are boy anyway. So you cannot just say, single one boy, and therefore she loved that boy. It does not make any sense whatsoever.
Well, Cloud, okay.
Moderator, anyway, this is my time to. I have not finished. I was wanting to say something else. You see?
Okay, go ahead, Alfred.
Cloud, Aerith loves Cloud. Cloud does not say that he loves any girl in particular. So, in my opinion, it is up to the player to decide who Cloud loves. You see?
Well, it's only up to the player prior to the live stream. That's the only time you have a choice. Once Cloud becomes himself, his choices are his own, so we don't get to choose anymore.
That is not how you play the Final Fantasy game. It is always up to the player to decide.
Only until the live stream. Because
that is not true.
He could waver between two. During the time he was Soldier Cloud, when he was real Cloud, his decisions were his. We couldn't tell him what to do.
And sorry to interrupt, but I do want to ask, can we, just for audio reasons, and so we can have the opportunity to hear everyone's point of view, can we try not to talk over one another?
Okay.
So,
sorry. I get too excited to talk about
no problem.
Yeah, Norris. Okay. I'll wait my turn.
You wait your turn.
You too, Alfred.
No, you talk over me all the time.
Okay,
same thing. All Cloti do the same thing. They say on the
Okay, so Once again, so moving forward, regardless of what we may have perceived to have happened in the past, let's just try and give one person the opportunity to fully express themselves and then let the other person do the same. So again, what we're talking about here is a love triangle debate. We can see that it's heated. We can see that we don't agree. But I want to clarify something, Alfred. So one of the questions here, of course, is does Cloud love Tifa? Does Cloud love Aerith? Now, I believe that initially you said that Cloud loved Aerith, but if I understand correctly, you're now saying that it's up to interpretation. Is that correct?
It's up to interpretation, but the game leads you towards the one conclusion. That Cloud always loved Aerith. Aerith is always in Cloud's heart.
I mean, sorry, I went to interrupt.
You see, there she go again. She interrupt me again. You see.
Oh no, I think we're good. I think we're good. Go ahead, Alfred.
Cloud. Oh shit.
Dickhead.
Cloud. Sorry,
I'm
sometimes
sorry, please.
sometimes I have this funny thing when I feel sad. I also make me laugh as well. But let me try this one again.
Please. Please.
You see, Cloud maybe have a little bit of love for Tifa in the beginning, but Tifa bullied him and he don't like Tifa anymore. Then you start the game Final Fantasy and then you meet Aerith and he in love with Aerith. You know, they go walk on the rooftop, they laughing, ha ha ha, you know. There is a genuine bonding situation, you know. And after she died, oh so sad, so sad. And afterward, Cloud not the same again. You know, he goes snowboarding, but you don't see his face. He actually crying. You know, when he snowboard down the mountain. You know, he cried all the way down the mountain.
Okay. There we go. Thank you for sharing your perspective there. Now, what I want to ask is, why do you both think that
Excuse
there
me,
is so
moderator.
much
I
debate?
didn't get
Because I'm sorry. Please go ahead, Gloria. I
I
apologize.
just wanted to add one thing. He knew the timeline of Final Fantasy VII from Reactor 1 to defeating Sephiroth is 6 weeks. And Aerith died maybe a little bit before halfway. So he knew Aerith for 3 weeks. The entire time he knew Aerith, he was under this soldier Cloud persona. So he was lost in his own mind. So whatever he felt for Aerith, if it was a crush or whatever, even Aerith says in Remake, it's not real. That's all I wanted to say about that. Continue.
Okay. Alfred, any comments?
I do not agree whatsoever.
And mine was the rebuttal. Why is he rebutting the rebuttal?
Oh, I'm sorry. Mo asked me for what I want to say about that. So I say what I want to say about that. If you don't want me to say that, I can say later. It doesn't matter.
Let's go to the next question.
Okay, sure. If you don't mind, we can. But my next question is going to be, yeah, sure. Maybe a little meta, but I am curious what you think about this. Why is there such a heated debate when it comes to Final Fantasy VII? If you look at, let's say, Final Fantasy X, no one's debating, Yuna versus Lulu. If you look at Final Fantasy VIII, any other game in the series, it's pretty clear. What's going on here with Final Fantasy VII that we have this debate? Any thoughts on that?
Can I start first on this one, please?
Yeah, sure, Alfred. Go ahead. Yeah.
I think the main reason why there is so much debate about the triangle in this particular game, compared to all the other Final Fantasy games, is simply this. Cloud fall in love with Aerith, and then Aerith die suddenly. So heartbreaking, so sad, you see. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, Alfred, but I'm hearing a little noise in the background, some sort of shuffling on someone's end.
So sorry, it could be me. I try my best to sit still, but when it comes to talking about air, I sometimes
it might have been me. I just reached across and grabbed my can.
No problem. No problem.
I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Let me think again. Oh yeah, I remember now. I was talking about the reason why there's so much debate going on. Aerith died too early, you see. Had she survived, I believe, or we all clear with belief that Tifa would not even be in the picture, you know. That's what we think.
Okay.
That the relationship would have been made confirmed that Cloud loved Aerith. And I have something else to say in Advent Children which support this view as well. That is all I have to say for now.
Okay, thank you, Alfred.
Okay.
Any thoughts there?
Yeah, me? Yeah. Well, the developers admitted they wanted Cloud to waver. They also admitted that Tifa was created to stay by the hero's side till the end because they had planned to kill Aerith quite early on. So she was created to stay by Cloud's side. And it's the illusion of a love triangle. It wasn't really like Cloud was the illusion. His whole mind was the illusion. So the love triangle was an illusion when he's not in his right mind, essentially. But as I said before, once he gets himself back and Tifa helps him, that's it. There's no more choice. You don't tell him to be nice to Tifa or nasty or whatever. There's just Cloud after that. So the love triangle has always been an illusion. But if you follow the game closely, it's pretty obvious what happens after a while. I don't think it would be fair on Cloud to get his memories back and then realize Aerith's connection to Zack and then realize he's simping on his dead best mate's girl. And you have to remember that Zack was returning to Midgar for Aerith. I think that would be just too much for Cloud to deal with. If he'd had a crush on her unwittingly and then realized, oh my lord, this is Zack who carried him a half dead around the world. This is Zack's love. Like Zack was returning to Midgar for Aerith. They're on the run from Shinra after they escaped from Nibelheim. And when he received Aerith's last letter, he decided to come back to Midgar to see Aerith. So it would be just a mindfuck, sorry, excuse my language, for Cloud when he realized Aerith's connection to Zack. And then obviously Cloud was impersonating Zack, and it would just be that's a pretty cruel thing for Cloud, I think. Whereas Tifa was like the beginning. Even Nojima said the story of Final Fantasy VII starts with Cloud and Tifa in Nibelheim. So Tifa and Cloud, the main theme is Tifa and Cloud. Cloud listening to Tifa play this piano score. And then that's become his theme. When he rides in on the motorbike and remake and main theme starts, that's the song he heard Tifa play when he was a little boy. That's huge. So I keep calling it the life triangle, I have no idea. The Final Fantasy VII isn't a love story per se, but it became that because I never believed it was a love triangle. I never really got attached to Aerith. I didn't think I mean, she was a chirpy character and she brought him out of his shell a little bit, but I thought some of her dialogue, it didn't sit well with me, like how she asked Kate Shee to predict whether she'd be a great match with Cloud while Tifa's there. I mean, like I said before, everybody knew how Tifa felt, and that was pretty bitchy. And then she just didn't.
Oh no, I do not see
remake,
for any type of slander or Aerith's character like that.
She was not a warm character for me in the original game. Thought she was, yeah.
To me, she is the cutest character.
Hang on, can I just finish? I know Alfred doesn't believe in Ultimanias, but even in the original Final Fantasy Ultimania, it says Aerith's only interest is furthering the love triangle, which, I mean, is a strange thing. She only tagged along for the love for Cloud. So she wanted Cloud, but she didn't really want Cloud. She wanted Zack. She admitted everything about Cloud reminded her of Zack. So if this guy is reminding you of your ex, and she had no idea what happened to Zack. He disappeared. The last she heard was that he was returning back. He promised to return to her. He promised to return to her at the water tower where Cloud promised to protect Tifa.
I have to say something
never
about
came
this
back.
point.
He never came
I
back.
have to say something about this. You see, in the date when you have with Elf on the ride, what I can't remember the name, but the gondola, the gondola, they call it the gondola.
Yeah.
In the ride, Elf say things have changed. What does that mean? Things have changed. Things have changed means that she no longer
knows he's
have
not
any
himself.
feeling for anyone else. No, you are now making things up. They're making things up again. You see, Air will say to Cloud, things have changed. That means that she loves Cloud now. She don't think about any other man, boyfriend, or whatever, or this that person. I don't know anything, but she just love the Cloud now, and
but she loves
it's so
Zach
tragic
well,
and so sad that
reasons.
if she had not died, they would be a couple together, and Tifa would not even have stand a chance. That's how I see it. Sorry, that's all I have to say about this point right now.
Okay, so there are a lot of issues that were brought up there. I want to go back to something that Gloria said, which was this idea of illusion, right? Which is something that you do hear a lot of Cloti talk about, that whatever appeared to be going on between Aerith and Cloud is not necessarily valid because Cloud was not himself and it was an illusion. Alfred, can you talk a little bit about your take on that?
My take is very simple. Cloud always loved the air. It doesn't matter if he was illusion or not. You still control Cloud. You still have the choice. You see, and his choice is always Aerith. Always.
Well, that's
That
one of
she leave the game. She leave the game early. So I think that is where the problem is. You see, that we don't know the last result because she leave the game so early. So we have to look at Cloud. Sorry, there's a lot of background noise. Where are you coming from? Not from me. I'm very still since Maud told me off. Said you move too much. I sit very still now.
I must say I do still hear some background noise.
That was me. I had some dust on my keyboard. I was just getting it out before it went under one of the keys.
Oh, sorry, no problem. I'll just say I was just now can't remember where I was up to. No, I remember now. So if Cloud, so if you remember at the very end of Final Fantasy Original, Cloud say, "I want to meet her. I want to meet her in the Promised Land." That means clearly that he still miss Aerith. That he want to be with Aerith.
Okay, he holding Tifa in her
arm. She holding Tifa in her arm, and she still saying,
well,
but moderator, it my turn to talk. I don't understand.
Yes.
It's my turn to talk.
Will ask, absolutely. So I understand. Let's let Alfred finish his thoughts, and then we can reply.
I won't be long. I promise. I won't be long. I just have one thing to say. He hold Tifa in his arm, and he still say, "Tifa, let's go to the Promised Land." To go to the Promised Land. I'm not taking Tifa on a holiday. He took Thomas go to the Promised Land to meet Aerith. That's why he loved Aerith. Aerith always in his heart. Even to at the end of the game, he still meet Aerith. That is why there is no love triangle. He always loved Aerith. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say now.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring this to you, Gloria, because there's a couple of things that came up there. So we will talk about the Promised Land, but even before that, we have this idea that basically if Aerith had survived, that she and Cloud would have been together, and Tifa would not have been in the picture.
Guarantee that would have been the result.
No, that wouldn't.
So, what are your thoughts on that, Gloria? What are your thoughts on that?
No, because as I said before, he would have realized.
Of course, she totally say no,
and that would have been Zach's last words to Cloud. Well, what he was saying to Cloud as Cloud was walking over towards Midgar at the end of Crisis Core was, "Take care of Aerith for me, not shack up with her." Essentially, he's going to realize that Aerith saw Zach in him. It'd just be all kinds of discomfort for Cloud. I don't know how he'd even be able to look at her, because it's like he knew how Zach felt about Aerith. He was even talking on the truck on the way back to Midgar about staying with Aerith, but he knew that Elmira wouldn't allow it. So this is a girl that he wanted to stay with her, live with her. This is not just a fling. So no, it would be very uncomfortable for Cloud. I'd feel bad for him if he actually did think that he loved her and then realized, holy shit, Aerith is Zach's girl. Aerith was in love with Zach. Aerith never had any answers or knowledge of what happened to him. She was pining for him. She saw the Buster Sword, the uniform, the eyes, and it was just Zach. Even Aerith admits it. She was drawn to Cloud because of his similarities to Zach and his mannerisms and the eyes and the uniform and the sword. But she realized he wasn't himself, but she never knew real Cloud. By the time Cloud became real Cloud, Aerith was dead, unfortunately.
And that's so sad.
I think it would be, yeah.
That's so sad.
Cloud isn't Aerith's consolation for not having Zach. And his heart has always belonged to Tifa. I mean, it's obvious. They have Tifa literally leave the party. Excuse me, Alfred.
No, I'm sorry. It's just you're bringing up some very bad memories for me.
Rules. I can't.
Okay, let's let Gloria finish, and then you will have your time, Alfred. Let's just let her finish her thoughts.
I'm sorry. I feel crying right now.
Shut up, Alfred.
Sorry. I'm crying right now. All your fault. You bring up this bad memory. Let me give you one second.
That's literally the most iconic moment in Final Fantasy VII. I'm sorry that.
This is not funny. I am in genuine pain, and you laugh at it.
It's. I'm gonna give Gloria the benefit of the doubt and assume she's not laughing about Aerith's death. Maybe it's just like you said, Alfred. It's tense and nervous, right? And
this is not funny.
No, I don't think that Gloria's laughing at you or Aerith's death. I just, it's a tense situation, right? We're just releasing some tension. I think I'm gonna give Gloria the benefit of the doubt. Am I right, Gloria? What's going on there? What's happening? Talk us through it. What's happening?
I'm sorry, I triggered Alfred.
That's.
I triggered Alfred.
Alfred, are you okay there, Alfred? Are you okay? Are you okay, Alfred? I want to make sure everyone's okay. Are you okay?
I have no words right now. I am just Alfred, completely shocked.
I want us to keep this respectful, so I don't want you to take it badly, because I assume that Gloria is just nervous laughter.
I am not cloud right now. My eyes are burning. My mouth is dry. I just.
I'm laughing, Alfred.
No. It's just, yeah, okay. Okay. No, in all, yes, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, okay.
I don't know what I was talking about now.
Take a deep breath. So what we had here was this idea that, if Aerith had not passed, that somehow that would maybe change the course of things. And we can see that Gloria definitely does not agree. Now, Alfred, are you okay, Alfred? Do you need a moment to compose yourself, or are we okay?
I think I am okay. Thank you for your concern. I think I can still go on.
Alfred, I mean to traumatize you with the story.
That's okay. I know this happened a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it still happened like it happened like yesterday.
It was quite a traumatic moment, I must say. But my question for you is also following up on something that Gloria said. Now, she talked a little bit about her perception of Aerith, which didn't sound fully positive, that Aerith was Not the most enjoyable character in her opinion. Okay. And I have heard other people say this, Alfred, if we're being honest. What are your thoughts on that? On this idea that Aerith is rude, that she's disrespectful to Tifa, that she's annoying, all the things that people say.
Oh no. You both misunderstand Aerith's character. Aerith is she is independent woman. She speak her mind. And I heard all these comments before that she immature, that she have no consideration for other. I don't see that. I do not see anything like that. She cute, she funny, she is very outgoing. Not like Tifa. Tifa always keep everything inside. She's so boring. She not
She's
she
flawed, yeah, and insecure, like
is the
everyone.
flaw and insecure. You see, that is not, in my opinion, a good trait for a main character. That is
Okay.
why I believe that Aerith is the main character. And the fact that they go and make her go away so early is really a very shocking thing to me and to all other Clerith and Aerith supporters.
Uh, all right.
That's why.
Well, that's just the
Let's
game.
not let's not talk about this too much because I may have to
All
go
right.
cry
Moderator,
again
can we
about
move on
after
from
this.
Eris' death
Okay.
because it's traumatizing Alfred?
Yeah, it looks like it is, so we won't focus on that too much. But we do have this. Oh my, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we do have this idea of Aerith being drawn to Cloud because of his connection to Zack. That what she sees in Cloud is really Zack. This is another thing I believe that Gloria referred to. Alfred, what are your thoughts on that? Is that a
That is,
possibility?
of course not. That is simply ridiculous. First of all, let's look at the character trait. Cloud is blonde hair. Zack has black hair. How can Aerith mistake them for the same person? They are two very different persons. You see, so I don't understand this. I do not agree with that argument right there. Aerith knows that Cloud is a different person, and he fall in love with Cloud for himself. That is my opinion on the matter.
Okay, thank you. There we have it.
I don't agree with that,
Another thing that was
moderator.
brought up
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Please go
I
ahead,
don't
Gloria.
agree with that. Can I talk?
Anything you want to say about that? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I know. It's obvious Zack and Cloud aren't physically identical, but that's not what Aerith saw. Like, she didn't see Zack, other than the eyes, which are all soldier eyes, have those micro-hued eyes. She didn't see his physical description. She saw his mannerisms. He says it herself. The way he walked, presented himself, things like that. His fighting style. The devs hinted that Cloud had taken that. Some of his limit breaks are similar to Zack's from Crisis Core. So it wasn't that, oh, hello, this man looks exactly like Zack, I'm going to run after him. But then that basically just proves what I'm saying. He didn't even have to look exactly like Zack. He had enough mannerisms to remind her of him that immediately drew her in. Now, a girl that is over her ex, that is not going to happen. She's going to want to steer clear of anybody who reminds her of her ex. But because she still was in love with Zack, she never got any answers or any closure. For all she knew, he just met someone else and married them and had a few kids. But she didn't, so her heart never sort of shut off. It was always that, what if, what happened, what. So he was still, she was never able to fully get him out of her heart. So he was always there. That's how she was immediately drawn to Cloud. I think if Cloud was just any other guy on the street that bought a flower or fell into her roof. Oh, that's another thing. Zack also fell into the roof of her church. Even if you play Remake, you can see there's one from the missile and there's two holes in the ceiling. One from Cloud, one from Zack. Zack didn't fall on the flower bed. Zack fell just beside it. So seeing this soldier with the same uniform and the same eyes and the same sword fall in the same place almost identically, it was just, I think Eris must have thought the gods, the live stream was sending her someone new to get her over Zach, but she obviously wasn't. As I said, no girl is going to look for her ex and another guy if she's over him. And I mean, very clear. Aerith admits it herself, that she was drawn to Cloud initially because of Zach, and then she realised she might have seen little glimpses of real Cloud, but she never really knew him. She knew that something was up with him, like Tifa knew something was up. Whereas Aerith might have had that intuition because of being a Cetra, but she never really met the real Cloud. So, yeah, that's all I had to say.
Okay. Any thoughts on that, Alfred? Anything you want to say in response?
I think I already
Alfred's already talked about
side on the story.
Okay.
I have.
Okay.
I resisted the temptation to interrupt again.
I do appreciate that. Yeah. I do notice we are.
I'm trying not to. Sorry,
making
Alfred.
an effort, and I appreciate it.
Yeah. More so, I don't want to trigger myself more than anything. But anyway, let's continue.
Yeah. Next question, moderator. I guess can I that was something I wanted to, sorry to interrupt, moderator. That was something I wanted to counter about the Promised Land. That was another translation issue from the original game. It was, in the Japanese dialogue, it was, I think I get it now, the planet's answer, the Promised Land. I think we can meet them there. And it's later expanded upon in Final Fantasy Complete Works, Volume 2. Eventually, the live stream surrounded Cloud, and when he regained his consciousness, he heard Tifa's voice. In the green current, Cloud felt that he saw the Promised Land sought by the Cetra, as well as the answer given by the planet. And with Tifa, the two of them promised to one day meet dearly missed people. Meaning it wasn't about Aerith, it was about everyone they'd lost. I mean, that'd be a pretty shit thing to do. He rescues Tifa. He knows how Tifa feels. He'd had an intimate night with Tifa, and then to turn around and go, I'm going to go meet Aerith in the it doesn't make sense. And it was a translation problem because the original game had several, and it was then clarified in the Ultimania that it was missed people, that like his mum, his dad, Tifa's parents, Aerith, Zach. Wasn't just Aerith alone.
I have to say something about this right now. First of all, again, you say that later on in the Ultimania, or I call the magazine, they have to clarify what they say on the original game. You see, that to me means there is a bit of bias already. That if you have to change something afterwards, it means that they changed their mind. They originally were saying, Cloud said that you want to meet Aerith in the Promised Land. That is exactly
he never said that in Japanese. Let's be clear on that.
Well, I don't read Japanese. You see, they don't teach us Japanese in Hong Kong, so I don't know how to read Japanese.
Yeah. But now, like I said, now that we're in the internet,
and he also says something about having intimate night. There is no proof whatsoever that Cloud and Tifa have any intimate night.
Well, Najumi hinted that it was risque, what they did. It was toned down. I mean, that was admitted by Nojima, or was it Nomura? No, it was Nojima. It's definitely Nojima. Said Tifa's line was risque, and
but
then
that is all hypothetical. All we can see is
that was in that Ultimania.
Again, you have to go to
one
the
of the developers. So I think
Ultimania. All it is simply the screen fade to black, and that does not mean anything.
No, that's because fade to black usually means they don't want to show something that's going to spike their rating.
That is ridiculous. You are being ridiculous.
Everyone knows what fade to black is.
That is ridiculous. Fade to black does not necessarily.
Is innuendo right there.
No, it is not. You are just making stuff. Just because
Okay.
a fade to black doesn't mean they have sex.
Everybody
When
but
you
Alfred
watch
knows what a fade to black is.
when you watch Ernie and Bert in Sesame Street and they fade to black, that don't mean that they go have gay sex. It does not mean anything like that.
Okay.
So
Well,
fade to so
Big
you
Bird
are
didn't
now
have a false
assuming I think
persona and wasn't in love with Elmo, so
that
yeah.
I'm not trying to say anything about Sesame Street. I'll just make an analogy about that. You say fade to black does not mean that they have sex or anything like that.
Well,
Not even kiss. All they did was they wake up, and when you wake up, obviously you have to lean your head on somebody. And Tifa only lean on Cloud because Cloud was the only person there. So that does
moderator,
not mean anything.
It has been confirmed that without words, Tifa and Cloud confirmed their feelings matched. So whatever they did, it wasn't with words. And it was enough for Tifa to fall over in embarrassment when she realized Sid, Barrett, and Vince had seen what happened. I mean, if they was just chatting about good old days in Nibelheim, why would she be so embarrassed? I mean,
You say herself she's a very shy girl. She could be shy about anything. She could be shy. She wake up and she have messy hair, and she could be embarrassed. You are drawing
her legs
conclusion without.
For most of the game, and I think she's shy. In that,
you are making things up. Again, Cloti do the same thing over and over again.
You Alfred just gonna go on and on.
Yes. Now, once again, let's try to give each other the opportunity to finish our thought, and then let the other person respond.
Okay. Even in the lower section, if you weren't nice to if you weren't nicer to Tifa, you still get the same scene where they don't do anything physically, but she still gets embarrassed from Vincent, Barrett, and Sid hearing what they did. Now, okay, I don't know what they were saying, but it must have been pretty loud to be heard above the high wind. Because, in the original game, you get that shh when the high wind is flying. So, yeah, whatever they was talking about was loud enough or actually doing, I don't know. But it was loud enough that Sid, Barrett, and Vincent heard and embarrassed Tifa. She didn't fall over, but she was embarrassed. But what they saw them do,
you are making this up as you go along. You are making this up as you go along.
There's it's referenced throughout every Ultimania. I know Alfred doesn't believe in Ultimania, but the Ultimania have been confirmed as canon to OG and remake, and it's referenced a dozen times minimum that they confirm their feelings under the high wind. Also, they confirm they realize their feelings in the live stream, and they confirm it under the high wind.
The best argument you can make,
fiction score you get, it's either way.
The best argument you can make is they're very close friends. That's all I can say about that, and that is where I stand.
I'm just sourcing canon over here. That's it. You don't have to
from magazine doesn't count. You see, it doesn't count.
It's canon.
That's the third party
recently confirmed which compilations were canon. Dismantled and Maiden were not on it, by the way.
You see, there you go again. That's a third party opinion. It was written after
Square Enix. They released that information to the public.
The closer the source, the more reliable it is. You see, so anything that comes afterward is they just change their mind. Maybe because Tifa is now very, very popular, so now they have to cater for the more popular character, so they change the story. So it's not very fair on us.
No, they didn't change it. Okay. Next question, moderator.
And we will. We will be talking about remake, but in all fairness, I'm just going to bring this up because I know it's going to be on people's minds. Talking about this high wind scene, there's a line that Tifa has. I don't think I have it memorized, but to paraphrase, something to the effect of, yes, words aren't the only way to tell someone how you feel. So, Alfred, I just want to give you the opportunity because I know people are going to bring it up, to address what you think Tifa might have meant with that line.
We simply don't know what she mean. because we can't see what happened. If fade to black, it could be anybody could say what happened. They could be playing scissor paper rock. They could be. They could. They could be. They
Could
could
have
be
been
just
sign languaging, but they love each other.
exactly. But I don't know when the car would have learned sign language anyway. But anyhow, it's, the point. The point is, it is up to the player to think and decide for themselves what actually happened. That is my view. Ultimately, if it fade to black, it means it could be open for interpretation. Could be
There was a
anything.
scene that
It does.
was rejected.
It
They were
does not
sneaking
necessarily
out of
mean that.
the Chocobo stable, and Tifa asked Claude whether he thought anyone saw what they did, and Claude said the Chocobo definitely saw, but that was scrapped for being too suggestive. So whatever they did, it was yeah, obviously it was suggestive because they couldn't even put a suggestive scene in because it was too suggestive. So whatever they did, I mean, we don't get an explicit detail, but obviously it was something that made Tifa fall over in embarrassment and something they had to fade to black to. So
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter
it wasn't Sesame Street
intend to do. All that matters is what actually happened. That's it. That's all that is important.
Okay. That is your, and again, I know I'm sounding a bit like a broken record, but there is quite a bit of noise in the background. So
sorry,
if
that's
we
me.
can find a way to
I've
minimize
got fluff on my it's driving me insane. I've got fluff on my keyboard and I keep trying to want to pick it out, but all right, I'll stop.
I appreciate it. Thank you. So what I did want to actually ask you, Gloria, is what are your thoughts on what Cloud actually feels for Aerith? I believe you said that you don't believe it's love, but how do you interpret the relationship between Cloud and Aerith?
I think he likes her.
He loved her.
He never states anywhere that his feelings were anything more than she was part of the party. He almost killed her himself. Before she was killed by Sephiroth, he was trying to will Cloud. Sephiroth's trying to will Cloud to kill Aerith himself. So he's got a lot of guilt. Plus, in the City of the Ancient, he beats her up. So I think that's what in Advent Children, Cloud is suffering from guilt and survivor's guilt, but guilt for what happened to Aerith. And because Aerith was Zack's love, he felt bad for almost killing her himself and beating her up. But the added source material says Aerith and Zack were close to his heart, and he carried that guilt for not being able to save them. So, of course, he cared about her, but he only knew her for a few weeks. I think it would be the same as if they lost Barrett, because he knew Barrett for a similar amount of time. Vincent a little bit less, but I mean, if he died at the point Aerith did, but he knew her for such a small amount of time, but he was supposed to look after her. She was part of the party. He was meant to take care of her, and he didn't. And he actually did the opposite and hurt her himself. So, of course, he liked her. And whether subconsciously he knew that she was connected to Zack, no one knows. But there's never any evidence of Cloud being in love with Aerith, other than him being sad when she died. But you don't have to be in love with someone to be sad when they die. If they're your friend, you're going to be sad. If they're your family, you're going to, like... So, of course, he was sad, and she was killed right in front of him. And literally, like, he was a couple of feet away. So, I think that he did like her, but he was fond of her. And, I mean, she was that bubbly, chatty person that, I mean, I wasn't that endeared to her, but, you know, Alfred was. Everything, you can't control Cloud anymore like that. You can move around, you can't make his decisions.
That means you support the view that it's up to the player to decide who Cloud actually
who he's
has
nicer
affection
to.
for.
Yeah. During Soldier Cloud, when he's Soldier Cloud, you can. Yeah, everybody knows that. You can choose. You can choose to give the flower to Tifa or Marlene, but then They've taken
that's another
they've
point
taken
right
that out
there.
in the remake anyway.
In
So.
the original game, you can give the flower to Marlene.
Yeah.
But in
Well,
the
you can choose
remake,
to be
they
nice
changed
to
the game. They
Tifa
changed the
or
whole thing.
nice to Aerith more while he was
They
sold to
changed the
Cloud.
game in remake. I do not like that. They changed the game. Now they have to force to give it to Tifa. I do not like that at all. Sorry,
There's
I
been
didn't have
so
to.
many compilations since that the picture's clearer now on where everybody stands. So I think they're just clarifying the Cloud and Tifa's relationship a little bit, yeah, because they've added so much. They're not going to like break canon and have
That is where I disagree. I think they're just changing the story just to cater for some of the fandom that like Tifa more. That's my view, my opinion on the
he
matter.
always liked Tifa, but
And I did want to talk about the compilation. So, Alfred, can we talk more about that? Now, you said they changed the story. Can you talk a little bit about how the story has changed,
Oh,
in your opinion?
they change so much. They make Tifa more important than she actually is to Cloud in the original game. And we all know that. We all know what happened. You see, the flower, they give straight to Tifa. Didn't give me the chance to give to Marlene. That is not fair. That it was my choice. That was my choice to decide who get the flower. See? And they took that away from me. I was not happy with that. You see? And then they added the extra scene, like originally Cloud did not remember the tower scene at all. No, remember Tifa, because she's so needy. She had to ask Cloud, "Oh, please stay with me. Don't you remember that you made a promise to me?" He said, but in the remake, no. Cloud suddenly remember out of nowhere during a mission. They changed the story again. You see, that does not make any sense to me, which leads me to think that they changed the story because Tifa is now popular with people, so they make the story more towards Tifa. I do not find that is very fair at all. Ask Aerith fans, ask Clerith fans. No, that
can
is
I
what I
say
say.
something about that, moderator?
Yes, please.
Well, they also removed Cloud being nasty to Aerith at the same point. Like, he doesn't call her the slum drunk. He doesn't, so a lot of, like, the interactions with Aerith have been changed where you don't get any choice to be mean to her or whatever. So the same with Tifa. So if it's canon to give the flower to Marlene, then it should be canon that Cloud is not so nice to Aerith. But they've taken away interactions with Tifa as well as Aerith. So Cloud isn't immediately nasty to her. I mean, he gets exasperated with her in the remake a lot, but he doesn't call her the slum drunk or anything like that. So it was across the board where they made things more clear, as to, like, he's not a complete asshole and he's going to insult some.
Yeah, that was
flowers
a
in the street.
very, very strange option to call her the slum drunk. That's a very weak part of original game. It just make no sense. I mean, Aerith does not drink at all, so I don't know how or where Cloud get the idea.
Well, they took that out. That's not
she
nice.
a slum drunk. Yeah. I think we can agree on that. That one is not something which is
they're
make any
changing
sense
they're
whatsoever.
not really changing. They're just clarifying the relationship a little better. So you can deny the flower the same way that you can deny Tifa's offer for a drink, but you get the same outcome. So it's just they've done these little tweaks across remake, but nothing's changed. Like, interactions with Tifa are changed, but so are the interactions with Aerith. So you don't.
And I did just want to note.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say about that.
I'm sorry.
No, that's
and I did just want to note for the record that we do have one point of agreement here, that Aerith is not the slum drunk.
Oh yeah, of course.
No, she's not the slum drunk. No, I agree with that.
She's not the slum drunk.
That there's no evidence.
Nothing else.
We finally agree on something today. That's very good. That's very good.
I just wanted to. We'll have that on record.
Okay,
One point of agreement.
Sure, totally.
So speaking of the flower, now that we're talking about remake, going back to the sort of origin of the flower, the scene between Aerith and Cloud, where she offers the flower to him and she says that basically lovers, right, give this flower when they're reunited.
Mm-hmm.
How are we interpreting that line or that exchange? Who's reuniting? Who are these
Tifa
lovers who
and
are
Cloud
reuniting?
haven't seen each other in 5 years for Cloud and 7 for Tifa. Whether she remembers Nibelheim, she might have some sketchy memories, but for her it's been 7 years. She says 7 years when they meet at the bar, but for Cloud it's been 5. So I mean, he never knew Aerith prior to meeting her on in Sector 8. So obviously the reunion is between Cloud and Tifa. It can only be them because there's no reunion with someone you literally just met, and he literally just met Aerith. He didn't know her during Crisis Core. Maybe Zack spoke about her, but he never met Aerith physically. So, yeah, the reunion is between Cloud and Tifa. I mean, there's no other person it could be.
Alfred, you have any thoughts on that?
I am shaking my head so much that it starts to hurt my neck now. I do not agree with that interpretation at all. You see, we know from remake that Aerith have future knowledge of events that have not happened.
No, that's just a
So
theory. Sorry to interrupt.
no,
That's a fan
there
theory.
is,
We don't know that.
let me finish, please. So
Sorry.
if she so the act of giving the reunion flower to Cloud is basically a reunion between Aerith and Cloud. Simple as that. See, Aerith gives the reunion flower to Cloud. That means they are now reunited. Aerith know Cloud. Cloud maybe not know Aerith at the time,
That's not a
but
reunion if
Aerith
he doesn't
know
know her
definitely
too.
Cloud. That does not matter. It's simple that
Okay.
Aerith give the flower to Cloud, therefore that is the reunion. Simple as that.
I don't agree, but okay, sure.
Okay, so we've addressed that, and then Alfred, as we already know and we've already discussed, Cloud goes on to give the flower to Tifa. Does that have any significance to you within the story itself?
It just means that like I said before, they're changing the original story. You see, they don't give you the option to now not give to Tifa. So, that is where I do not support the remake. They say remake, but in actual fact, they are changing the entire game. The entire game. That is my view of it. You see,
Uh huh.
Mm-hmm.
And what would the two of you say overall? Do you feel that the remake skews one way or the other? Do you feel that it's basically a Cloti or Clerith? Do you feel there's a certain
I think they're just
bias or
telling.
a certain slant
I think they're
overall?
just telling the original story. It goes into more depth of Midgar because it's only about Midgar, so it goes into more depth. Like there's more background of Jesse, Biggs, and Wedge, but it's just telling the original story as I remembered it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty similar, other than a few options are taken away. So yeah, you don't get the option to give it to Marlene. You don't get the option to be nasty to Aerith. Marlene asks Cloud what she thinks of Aerith, or she says that Aerith likes Cloud, and Cloud says, "Well, I hope so." Or another one is, "Who cares?" Something like that. So they've taken away the option to be nasty to Aerith. Like literally, you can choose to say something nasty to her. They've taken that away, and also they've taken some choices from Cloud and Tifa as well. But it's essentially the same story. The Whispers. That's just fan theory as to why they're there. A lot of people saying it's sort of a nod and a wink to the purists who want Final Fantasy to be like one for one with the original, but we don't know anything about this whole Aerith knows the future. I mean, Nojima hinted, but he could be. Nojima can troll really badly, so he could be just messing with us at this point. We're not going to know until part 2. So I'm not even going to make any predictions because I don't want to make an idiot of myself if they're wrong. So it's just fan theory. I mean, I'm a massive Zack fan, and if he was to be alive in any universe, alternate timeline, whatever, I'd be happy, but I'm not going to get my hopes up there. So it's just fan theory, and it's nice to hear it, but we're not going to know. It's just that it's theory. So
it actually reminds me of somebody on Twitter. His name is similar. See, Medio that he is such an idiot, such an idiot.
I know.
I have
really cool
many argument with that man. That man is simply delusional. I don't want to speak to anyone with a name like this. No, sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, little aside.
Cut and paste.
The reason why I asked that question about Cloti versus Clerith in remake is because the devs have said that they were going to try to be balanced, give Cloud as many interactions with Aerith as they did with Tifa.
I have to go now. My time has now run out. So we may have to continue this interview later on sometime. I'm very sorry. Something just happened.
No problem.
I would like to continue the discussion. Maybe in the future. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very sorry.
Well, thank you for your participation, Alfred.
Thanks,
I
Alfred.
appreciate it. But I will say this, and don't worry, Alfred, I will cut this out. It's a little awkward, but I will cut this out. Promised. But I do need to say, Alfred, because I like to keep it real, okay? We discussed how this was going to go beforehand, and you did assure me that you were very familiar not only with the OG, but with everything having to do with Final Fantasy VII. Correct? That was our discussion.
Familiar is a very subjective type of term, you know. What you say familiar might not be so familiar to me. Anyhow, I do not understand where you are going with this moderator.
And I know.
Do you expect me to have an encyclopedic knowledge of all the Final Fantasy happening? Because I can say now that I simply cannot know. I'm an old man now. I cannot remember every single detail. So yes, I apologize if I'm not across all the little detail.
Yeah, and I know you have to go, but the reason why I'm saying is because I can already anticipate what the comments are going to be like, and they're going to be on my channel, and they're going to be directed at me in a certain way. You are representing me and my side, so I will ask that for the continuation, maybe if you can brush up a little on OG, do what you got to do, because you did assure me that you had this, and I found some of the details to be a little lacking there. Again, this will not be included in the finished product. This is just between me and you. You got me?
I understand. I will try my best to watch the YouTube. I will go back to the Tumblr pages A Story of Love. They have all the information I need require to finish the interview. Don't worry. I will make sure that next time I will have the enough knowledge to argue our point of the argument. There is no argument in my view. There was never any doubt. But sometimes, you know, the tricky Cloti, they twist everything we say. So I understand. I will try better next time. Okay? I promise.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
You've got a bit of time, Alfred, to catch up.
and don't invite the Linzo and the Medio Desk. I deal with them on Twitter too much time. They give me so much headache. I don't like them.
I thought you'd already chain blocked me, Alfred.
I don't block anyone. You lie. I do not block anyone. I'm very nice person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're
blocked.
They
block me. They block me all the time. They tease me. They say I'm an idiot. They say I'm delusional. And then before I reply, they block me. I don't like that Medio that he's such a bastard. Yeah.
I don't want to get into the Twitter drama.
I need to go. I need to go now. We'll talk again soon. Okay. Bye, Gloria. Bye, moderator.
Bye. Thank you, Alfred.